Owning a dog is not cheap, but owning a dog in New York City, that can take a massive bite out of your budget. Hi everyone, I'm Evie, and this is Cheap and Evie with Lilu today, and we're going to break down the cost of dog ownership in New York City. Let's start with food. Now, some people feed their dogs the same thing every single day, which is fine. I'm not one of those dog owners, but because I travel a lot, I sort of need my dog to have an iron gut. And so she and her gut need to be able to handle a lot of different kinds of food on not no notice, but short notice. So to keep things travel friendly, I do sort of a hybrid food method. So I pay about $24 a bag for a month's worth of dry dog kibble. Then I'll mix in fun stuff like toppers or frozen raw or freeze-dried raw or dehydrated food. And this, I call this like the fancy food. This runs me about, yes, Layla? This runs me about $25 to $50 a month for these like fancy toppers and fancy food mixes. So all total, that is about $588 to $888 a year to feed Lilu. Next up is dog grooming. So Lilu here is a Lhasa Apso. Lilu, look at the camera. She needs a lot of grooming. Her hair is very high maintenance, probably more high maintenance than yours, definitely more high maintenance than mine. And so to keep up with it, we have this nice little nightly routine where we watch movies and I brush her ears out and I brush her tail out. I usually keep her hair short, like this is a puppy cut, and this just makes it easy for me to give her a bath myself. I'll just throw her in the shower with me. But every 2 months, she does need a full groom, and they'll like trim her face here. They'll like do her beard. They'll do the inside of her ears, and you can tell she's very chill with all of this. They'll do her little paw pads like inside here, trim her nails, do all that. Yes, I'm so sorry. And that runs about $140 plus tax and tip. So all total for the full year, that is about $840 that I'm spending on dog grooming. Could I groom her myself? Technically, yes. But she doesn't like the sound of the electrical clippers, and I don't have anyone here that can bribe her while I trim. So I pay for the professional grooming because that provides a very positive, more stress-free environment for her, and she doesn't mind the groomers at all. And for me, that is worth the money to give her that good grooming experience. Now, there's something that I do not pay any money for, and that is training. I trained her myself. She knows basic commands like sit. We don't do lie down, we do wait. She'll wait for her food. She walks nicely on a leash. She greets dogs nicely. She's great with people, great with kids. And I find that when you train your own dog, you create a much deeper bond with them. So I really like doing that. And obviously the first month I had her, just had to be very, very consistent with the training. Do you want to go? Okay, you can go. Goodbye. She's had enough with me. Next expense is veterinary care. So going to the vet, it's very expensive in the city, so you have to do your research. I found a vet that's 1 block from my apartment. He only charges an office fee for the first visit. After that, you're only paying for shots and any kind of tests like fecal tests or blood tests that he runs. So vet care costs about $400 a year for Lilu, which is not bad. She's generally pretty healthy. Petco offers pop-up vaccination clinics, and you can get a la carte shots for $40, or you can get a puppy bundle or adult dog bundle, all for under $300. I usually go to my regular vet because they're much closer, but in a pinch, Petco is a great option to get your dog vaccinated. The most expensive vet bill is the spay and neuter bill. So here in the city, to get Lilu spayed, I would have had to pay $1,300, which is honestly insane. That's not as much as rent, but it's pretty close. What I did is I took her up to rural Pennsylvania, stayed at a friend's place for free, and she was spayed up there by a country vet for $350, and that included all of her post-op meds. Ideally, when I travel domestically, I like to bring Lilu with me because it is much cheaper and she gets to explore and have fun. But when I travel internationally, it gets a bit more complicated. For example, Europe requires a lot of paperwork, and Taiwan requires that dogs, outside of service dogs, need to be quarantined. I'm not gonna have her pose as a service dog, so these are some tiered options that I have for dog boarding. Starting with the most expensive one, Manhattan dog boarding, $100 a night. I don't go over 3 nights because $300 is how much I would pay to bring her round trip with me. So that's for emergencies only. Option number 2 is a kennel just a little bit north of the city, and they charge $57 a night, which is much better. The only downside is that they don't have group play, but they are close. So I think they're about a 45-minute drive, depending on the trip. Sometimes I'll take her up there. Option number 3 is to go back to rural Pennsylvania. There is a dog kennel there that charges $45 a night or $50 a night during the peak season. They have supervised doggy daycare, so she gets to play with a big group of dogs every single day, and she loves it. The only downside is that it is a 2-hour drive from the city, and to do that in one day, take her there and come back it's a lot. Finally, option number 4 is I have a friend in Maryland. We trade dog sitting, and so I'll bring Lilu down there. I'll watch her dog down there, depending on whoever's going on a trip. This is free, and it costs me however much it costs to get down there via Amtrak or to drive. Driving is 4 hours. Amtrak is 2.5. Driving doesn't cost as much. It's just like 1 tank of gas. Amtrak is anywhere between $40 to $100, depending on when I buy the tickets. What I really miss are the days when my sister lived in the city and she would take care of my dog when I went out of town, and that was free and very convenient. Because I take 2 trips to Taiwan a year, my boarding costs per year come out to be about $1,600. I usually take her to the Pennsylvania place. This year, she is going to Maryland for one of the trips, so hoping that cost comes down this year a little bit. Finally, the biggest doggy indulgence is doggy daycare. Now, do I need to pay for doggy daycare? No. But does Lilu love doggy daycare? Yes, she does. You guys ready for this? Drum roll. Daycare is $3,000 for 80 days, no expiration dates. This usually lasts me the whole year because she only goes once a week. If I do need to cut back on expenses, this is the first thing to go because I can take her to parks, I can take her for walks, which I do anyways, but doggy daycare is 12 full hours of playtime. She's exhausted. She's so happy she comes home and I don't hear from her for 2 days, which is also kind of nice. So what does it cost to have a Lilu in New York City? Let's break it down. For food, $588 to $888. Grooming, $840. Veterinary bills, $400. Boarding, $1,600. And daycare is $3,000. So grand total, I spend about $6,500 to $6,800 a year on my dog. Brought her back. If you want a responsibility that is both full of joy and very cute and will force you to budget, get a dog. And remember, the bigger the dog, the bigger the price tag. Luckily, they're still way cheaper than kids. So thanks for watching. Lilu, you can go now. Goodbye. And I hope you guys tune in next time for another episode of Cheap and Evie. Have a great day.